Hey everyone, it is Kara.
And Leah,
And it's time to get real. That was so lame.
I love it.
So we wanted to give you a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be going over the diets that we've done, what's worked, what hasn't, give you a couple little statistics, and talk about what we are doing now and in the future as far as diet. And when I say diet, I just mean how we eat, not necessarily just how diets are typically understood. So we are going to get into that with you. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun and informative. So let's get started.
Yeah. So what have you been doing the last 2 weeks, Kara, now that the new year has started?
Oh, well, transitioning out of Christmas. So had to get my Christmas tree out the first day, the day of Christmas, because it started smelling like throw up.
Oh.
And so
That's not good.
It died. And so yeah, we had to get rid of that right away. So I've been just transitioning. I feel like for me, I do more of Christmas cleaning, like New Year's cleaning, than I do spring cleaning.
Yeah.
And so I've been just doing a lot of that, getting down the Christmas decorations, getting my mind shifted over to the new year, and not the nude year.
Nude
my New Year's resolution to be as naked as possible. Just kidding.
I'm dead. Don't come
here. Okay.
Oh
anyways, so yeah, but one thing is I really feel like the word of the year, at least for me, is flourish. And so I've been thinking a lot about that word and what that means for me and for Flow Fitness and just other people. And so yeah, just kind of shifting my focus, and I'm excited.
That is awesome.
It's gonna be a good year.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I got a lot going on too, man. Between
a few things.
Yeah, it's a lot. I feel like this past year was kind of like slowly, gradually happening, and then like January hit, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how much is going on this next year between moving the 15th of January to our weddings in April. So we have all of our like bridal showers, all of our parties we're having. And then we have to go to Michigan for the second reception. It's just like, it's a lot going on. Yeah. So I'm super excited. And then with everything with Flow, like us continuously keep growing, I'm just like, man, it's going to be an exciting year. And when you say flourish, it kind of makes sense in my life. Just looking at it now, like talking about everything that's going on, like the past year, it's all kind of been happening, but now it's starting to flourish and kind of everything. It's like, all right, time to put action behind everything. Yeah. So I'm excited though. Yeah.
It's like the roots have gone down.
Yeah.
And now, so the flourishing of I don't know, I just like visualize a beautiful flower. It's like coming forth. Even though that's more of a spring thing, but I don't know. Yeah, that's cool.
We're getting there.
We talked a little bit about New Year's resolutions as far as what we've done in the past. Do you have any that you're feeling for this year?
I was thinking about it, and I think I'm not one to really do them like I talked before, and so I think it's funny how like God kind of works, because I felt like He was like, okay, I know you're not gonna get in shape like extreme, like how you want to be for your wedding, so here's this bridge you have to run over, so you have to try to run every day. So I was like, okay. And then what was the other thing? There's one more thing.
Well, he talks about wanting a six-pack.
Yeah. Well, that comes along with running, because I don't do that much cardio. Like I do, but like not as intense as I want to. And then there's one other thing I can't remember. But besides that, also we got this pamphlet from church, and it has you go through the Bible in a year. So it has you read like a chapter a day, or some days it's 2 chapters. So I've never read the whole Bible in 1 year. So I thought that'd be kind of cool this year to kind of do that and see.
That's awesome.
See what happens.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, all other Americans, trying to refocus my, on my health, but without any real specific goals. Like I do have a couple specific ones, but it's not necessarily weight focused. So for some of my New Year's resolutions, I am trying to focus on overall just being healthier. But then also, it's always nice to have a few little specific goals. So I'm trying to have a goal of having the lines in my abdomen and just toning up in general all over. So
That's good.
yeah, little things here and there that I'm throwing in some specifics, but just wanting to be healthier. I feel like it's very important when the focus is health, the appearance side of it will come naturally.
Absolutely.
So just shifting my focus some in that way.
And I kind of have a similar goal of, like I said, the abs part too, and that's all about leaning out. And so, kind of recapping on what we talked about our last podcast was being consistent, and that's all about leaning out is consistency, and taking it one step at a time, you know. And so, if you have that goal, you know, start a little bit at a time and work your way there. And so, I really want to recap about last week now that we're actually in the new year. You know, and so kind of touching base on that. Is there anything else that you loved on the podcast we talked about last week? 'Cause that was my intake, really, was to start a little bit and then just don't go crazy with it because you're going to fall off the wagon, but you want to be a lifestyle. So kind of start slow and work your way into where it fits in your life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a big takeaway for me was all about the fact that when you do treat, the next day to get back into it, you know, to not completely fall off the wagon, to not feel like just because you overindulged one day that the next day, forget it. You can resume from there. Every new day is a new opportunity to start fresh. So I feel like that's huge for me, and that was a big takeaway for me. So a lot of what we're going to talk about today is similar and fits with it, but we really want to talk to you about what we've done before and what can be done differently and what we're doing in the future. So what are some diets that you've done in the past?
I have done a lot of my stuff has been around health. My parents have always eaten really healthy, and my dad has rashes, so he's known that it's because of his eating. So we've done a whole bunch of different diets, trying to help him out, and you know, because if one person's on a diet in your family, then everyone's on a diet, you know how that goes. So for his rashes, he wasn't eating any starches or anything like that. So we got all those out of our house and really ate them. And so, but for me, I felt like I was playing sports, I was playing volleyball, I was in high school, and I needed that, like, because I'm burning so many calories. Because we have tournaments and we're playing 10 hours out of the day in one day. And so I was just like, man, I need that, you know. So I definitely think that one wasn't for me, how active I was. Now I could say I could kind of lean back on those, but because I was so active, that was something that I felt like my body needed to kind of repair itself. And so just the point in time in my life, that one didn't work out for me. And to go along with that, he also tried to only eat starches without protein. So you have protein in veggies and then starches in veggies. So his doctors were saying that he wasn't able to digest, or people in general aren't able to digest starches and proteins together. So if you ever want starches, to only eat it with veggies and then your proteins with veggies or whatever. So that was a really good one that I actually implement now, because it just really helps your digestive system and everything. So
that's good. That makes a lot of sense. I also wanted to share a couple different little stats that are interesting to me that I found. These came from the livestrong.com. So a few interesting stats that I pulled off the livestrong.com website are that up to 50% of women at any given point in time are on a diet.
Wow.
I was like, dang, that's a lot.
That's pretty true though.
But it is, yeah. And it goes into like the kids and stuff like that too, how kids are starting to really diet a lot as well. And a part of me is like, well, it's probably good because America in general are so obese, and that starts as children and with, you know, the fast food and everything else. But it's also kind of like, man, our focus is so much on food. You know, if we shifted our focus off food so much and just focused on being healthy, I think it would kind of transform our way of thinking.
Absolutely.
But then another one is that Americans spend more money, up to $46.3 billion a year in weight loss products and surgeries.
Wow.
More than any other country. So I was like, you know, there's such a focus on crap food, like fast food and things like that. But at the same time, when you eat like that and live like that, then there's this other battle, you know, of trying to not eat like that. And it's both sides of it are really pushed in our face. And I don't know, for me, especially as a mom, I've always tried to be really intentional about even if I am dieting or trying to live a healthy lifestyle, that I'm not talking to my kids in a way that, of course, they see and they experience it because, like you said with your dad, they live in the house, and
Yeah.
so they have to become a part of that. But even when they are, that they're experiencing it in a way that it's about being healthy, not about how we look,
Yeah.
especially with an 11-year-old daughter who's learning about body image and things like that. It's so important that our focus is on the health side of it, and the vanity side of it comes along with it almost as a bonus, but not as the focus. But I thought those were some crazy stats.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It kind of blows my mind to even think about that, you know, and it saddens my heart that it's that extreme. And so that's why I'm so happy that we're doing what we're doing, so we can actually help you women to shift that focus onto making it to be a health reason and not so much just your food and dieting and exercising, but more about making yourself feel better and enjoying life. So I'm excited to kind of dive in a little deeper on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want to talk a little bit more about the diets that we have done, like I said, and something for me. I think what really kicked off, because when I was 19 when I got married, got pregnant right away, had a kid at 20, and until that time, I never really had to think about what I ate. It was more about I ate whatever I wanted. My metabolism burned it off naturally. I never really thought about that until after I had my son, and then didn't really care for a while, and I felt like I needed to get out of the house, so I started working out. Once you start working out, it helps you think about what you're eating because you don't want to waste your time working out. And so I started thinking about that a little bit more and wanting to implement that side of it. And we just started with more of a clean eating type, not eating as much processed foods and all of that kind of just garbage. And so I feel like it's a really great approach to it. But at the same time, like we were just talking about with the mixed nuts, if you're eating a bag full of mixed nuts that, it's 15 grams per serving and a serving is a fourth of a cup, it's like you're taking a healthy food and making it unhealthy because you're overindulging on it. So it's kind of learning, okay, eating clean doesn't necessarily mean eat as much of you want as much as you want. But to really eat what you want, or eat the clean foods, but in moderation. Absolutely. And then allow yourself the treats as well, so you don't feel like you're constantly deprived. And so that was something that we really spent a lot of time learning about and focusing on. And then with that came another plan that was more of a portion control eating plan that taught you, okay, this is the serving sizes that make sense for you. I did feel like with that one a lot, I was hungry a lot of the time, unless I was really on top of eating every couple hours. So have you done anything like that, like with the real focus on clean eatings or portion controls, anything along those lines?
My whole experience was more to gain weight. I've always been underweight, always kind of had trouble with my stomach when I was younger eating. And so I've never really had to try to lose weight. And so just recently, within the past year or so, I was trying to gain all my weight back, like after my depression, losing like 60 pounds. I was super skinny and I was just like, this is not healthy. So I wasn't able to eat in my depression. So now I was like, okay, now I have a choice to just to pack it all on or eat good. And so the first couple months I was trying to eat good. I was working out a lot. I think that happened for the first 4 months. Then after that, you kind of just like lose sight of that, like how I always was. So I just started eating fast food, started seeing the weight gain back on. I was like, oh, cool, this is nice. And so like it didn't look bad at first, and then once I kind of got to my weight that I wanted to be, it was so hard to stop like gaining that weight because my body was so like used to gaining from the bad foods I was eating before. So I definitely would rather, if I could go back again, to keep to the eat cleaning, and even though it would take me longer to get to where I wanted to be, it would have been more a healthier transition. So I really wish I would have stuck with that. But so my thing has been gaining weight and gaining muscle mass. And so now I think within these past 2 months with my wedding, now that because my body did go over the weight limit that I wanted to, now is the time that I'm starting to like figure out, okay, what do I need to do to kind of gain my last kind of like 8 pounds that aren't really needed. You know, I know I look good, I know that I'm great, but for my wedding, you know, you want to be like flawless. So
Top notch.
top notch, you know.
Yeah.
I can have my abs and everything. So I have about 8 pounds that I'm looking to lose, and kind of getting back my abs I used to have and everything. So I'm really excited to see how that works out. It's my first time actually doing something like that.
Hardcore.
Yeah, because I've always been trying to pack it on. So now I'm like, oh, I want to see the other side of everybody.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to be on both sides of the spectrum, knowing that for you skinny girls, like I'm there. Like I was there. It's hard to pack it on, and it seems like forever. And you don't think you're gonna get there. Like your muscles aren't going on the way you want to, but being consistent, like we talked about in the last podcast, is definitely key.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that speaks a lot to the balance, being balanced. If you're super slim and are looking to gain weight, there's a healthy way to do it. It doesn't mean, hey, eat McDonald's for every meal until you've packed on the pounds that you want, because your body gets in this unhealthy cycle. But if you're packing it on in a way that you're adding lean proteins and things like that, it's all about balance. In the same way on the other side, if you're looking to lose weight, you don't starve yourself. Do it gradually, and when you do it gradually, it's more sustainable. So many people who do diets on either end of the spectrum, it's not sustainable once you're done, because hardly anybody is going to live that lifestyle 100% of the time. So figuring out those little changes that can be made in a gradual way that can be sustainable for your life, and allowing yourself the treats like we talked about last time, in moderation, in a balanced way, and not overindulging every time. I think it's the balance side of it is so very important. A couple of other things we've done. Well, we watched that What the Health documentary that a lot of people had watched, and it's so extreme, and it's a great documentary, very informative, obviously a little bit one-sided, but it did bring up a lot of eye-opening things that Jesse and I were like, hey, let's be vegans for 2 weeks. Why not?
I could not.
And it was a good learning experience, because I did learn, like, my body. For me, when I went vegan, I ate a ton of beans. I ate a ton of carbs. So I probably did it in a way that was probably not the healthiest. I didn't go and eat Oreos, because I've been told Oreos are vegan.
Oh my goodness.
But I didn't go to that extreme, but I did eat in a way that I literally felt like crap the entire 2 weeks.
Wow.
And when I was done, I went to Wendy's and I got myself a Baconator combo, and I shoved my face.
That sounds so good right now.
I was like, I need some freaking meat in my body now. I don't even care how I get it. And honestly, I didn't even feel bad afterwards. I felt worse before, probably because I did 2 weeks of, for me, an unhealthy vegan lifestyle, where I should have taken more time to learn about how to do it in a healthy way. But it is something that I tried, and it was interesting. For me, I do feel like vegan is not for me. And I totally respect people who do it and do it in a healthy way, because it's hard. It's really hard.
It is hard.
Then it was funny because I kind of swung to the other end of the spectrum. We're talking about balance. Then we decided to do keto. So we did keto for a while, because I'm like, I'm willing to try anything out for a limited period of time. And so we did keto, and that was an interesting. Sorry if you hear our bird in the background.
I think it's going off right now.
We can't. I think both doors between us and him are shut, and it's still whatever. He's loud. He wants attention. So we did keto, and that was quite the experiment too. Again, felt like I kind of did it in an unhealthy, unbalanced way, where I ate a ton of cheese. So it's all about, if you're going to do something, make sure you spend the time to research it and do it in the healthiest way possible. That's the most sustainable long term. So
besides that, I've done a lot of detoxing stuff too. So I've done like the wraps, I've done pills, I've done teas, and that definitely makes me feel like that day that I feel a little bit better. But then the next day, like, you just gotta do it all over again from the foods that you're eating.
Right.
And so one of the pills that I was taking, it was all natural. It was really cool though, because it would hurt my stomach if I ate something my body couldn't handle.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something that I would probably do again. Besides all the other detoxings, I wouldn't really. It would depend when I would be taking it, if I would
Right.
use it or not. But those pills, like, it kind of taught my body, okay, your body doesn't like this food, which was mostly like bread and pastas and
Right.
stuff. So it was really cool that it was like teaching my body, like, because I would go to the bathroom after taking that pill and eating bad.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to eat bad because I didn't want to have to go to the bathroom and stink it up and embarrass myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fruit it is. Like,
Yeah.
just a salad, because I was eating a lot of pasta and breads. And granted, I was still in high school and I was doing volleyball and stuff, but even then, like you said, moderation. And so that was kind of my downfall, and it's a lot of people's, like, that's obviously yours and I's downfall is moderation, and that's something that we're working on, and being transparent about it definitely helps you, in my mind, to even tell myself, oh yeah, you're really bad at moderation, so focus on that a little bit more. So it's cool to talk about it and listen to people talk about it, because it makes you more aware of what you are good at and what you're not good at in terms of dieting and stuff.
That's good. Something that made me think about is it being so important, like when you really need to focus on why you're doing what you're doing. I've heard a lot lately about people talk about what is your why, for why, like for you, a big thing is your wedding. So you've got this vision in mind of how you want to look in your wedding dress and how you want to feel during that time. You obviously need a lot of energy during that time to get through all the events and things like that. For me, a big part of my why, and probably a big part of yours too, is we're on the front lines of Flow Fitness. So people are looking to us as a source of, health and nutrition, and we've got that to uphold. And for me as well, like my kids, I want to teach them what it's like to lead a healthy lifestyle, and because I love them and I want them to be healthy too. And so I can't expect them and want them to be healthy if I'm being a bad example.
Lead by example, that's good.
Yeah, so those are some of my huge reasons for being motivated in the way that I eat and things like that. But then also, like we've talked about before, I have a Pinterest board that are my physical goals. And of course, like we talked about, the health needs to be the first, but then the physical goals come along with it. And it's so important to have a vision in mind of what you want to achieve. And for me, it can't be weight, because for weight, it fluctuates so much all the time. I feel like sometimes when I'm working out really hard, I gain weight because I gain muscle faster than I lose fat. And it's just a bad gauge of progress. And so having those goal boards of what I want to achieve is so important. We talked about that some too with the goal board that you had created, but then with Pinterest as well, and having the pictures to actually have a physical representation of what you're working towards, and keep that in mind. Like you've said in your classes before, focus on what you're wanting to achieve in those moments of feeling exhausted, like you want to quit. Continue being focused on your whys.
And I do want to point on the why. And my why at first was to be like, everyone's calling me skinny. Everyone's saying I'm not attractive because I'm so skinny. So I was like, I'm going to show them what it looks like then. I'm going to show them. But that's not a healthy why. And so, and I learned that real quick because I was doing it for other people's opinion about me rather than my own opinion about myself.
Right.
So like we said, bring it healthy first, because you guys have a lot of self-worth inside of you, and that no one is going to take or gain or take away or put more back in you. And so my thing was, even though I gained the weight that I wanted to, I still wasn't happy, and so it wasn't until I started working at Flow Fitness where I gained that love for myself and love for working out again, because before I was doing it for a reason that wasn't correct, because I wanted to show them, like, oh, I can be attractive, oh, I can have muscle, I can look better, I don't have to be this skinny, and trying to put something on that I wasn't doing for myself. And so I wasn't happy when I was skinny, and I wasn't happy when I looked my best. And so I'm actually, like I said, 8 pounds a little over my what I want to be, but I'm the happiest I am right now because I know my self-worth in myself. And so I want to encourage you guys that too. Don't do it for anybody else. don't do it because someone said something about you, and just do it for yourself, because that's when you're going to see the results. That's when you're going to be the happiest, and that's when you start to feel better too.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're doing it for yourself and seeing your progress, and it's all for you. You're bettering yourself. Because if you're doing it for somebody else, what are you bettering them? Like that
Right.
make, and so I was doing it for wrong motives. And so I love that Flow Fitness has implemented self-worth inside of me, and so many other women that have been there to make me feel like, I got this. This is for me. I'm going to make myself look good because I want to look good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about for me at Flow Fitness. And a big part of the reason why we even open Flow Fitness is providing that type of atmosphere that people can grow in a healthy love for themselves.
Yes.
And what's the quote? If you hate yourself when you're overweight or super skinny, then you're going to hate yourself when you lose the weight or gain the weight that you want to lose. It's not going to shift.
Yep.
Or people that go out and get a bunch of surgeries because they want to look a certain way and they feel like they're going to love themselves afterwards. Your self-worth doesn't change.
Nope.
Even if your body has changed. And so, what was the quote that I was thinking about? Oh, love yourself. Work out and eat healthy because you love yourself, not to love yourself.
That's good.
Because it's not you can't make yourself love. You can't love yourself more because you've changed something. You've got to start out loving yourself, and then the changes will come.
That's awesome.
The changes will come naturally. So
I like that quote.
Yeah. I totally jacked it up, but you get the gist.
I do. Because that's kind of what my mind went to. Like, I didn't know that quote at all just until now, but that's exactly the transition my mind had to go through during all this. And so I'm so happy it did, because I couldn't imagine continuing working out and doing all this just to please someone else's opinion about me, Yeah. And so I'm very happy that I found this place to help me do that. Being emotional over here. What happens? You get transparent. All right.
Goodness.
Anyways,
so I was gonna mention the cleanses. You had talked about some cleanses you had done, and Jesse and I have done some crazy cleanses. And I'm not anti-cleanse. I think every once in a while your body needs like that shock to its system to just literally clear out the crap. But it's not a sustainable lifestyle, obviously.
No.
You can't live on a cleanse, but some that we've done is the cabbage soup cleanse. And I've shared that in the accountability group, that the cabbage soup for me is like a good go-to recipe, that if I've eaten really bad for the past week or whatever, or even for a couple of days, I'll make a big batch of cabbage soup and just eat on it for lunches, for the next few days, just as a good satisfying, because it's a good soup recipe, but also way to just kind of clean it out and just to feel better after. And then we've also done what was it, I think it's called the master cleanse. That is the lemonade. It's like a lemon mixed with cayenne mixed with maple syrup.
Wow. And
then you drink that throughout the day.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's crazy.
That's extreme.
Yeah. And that's literally all you take in. Is that the same? Is that the same one that you do the saltwater flush with in the morning?
Oh wow!
And then there's the tea at night. Okay, so this is like hardcore.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do the saltwater flush because it's like literally in the morning you drink a full big giant cup of water with salt in it, and it tastes like the ocean, like you're drowning in the ocean.
Oh.
And you ingest a bunch of water.
Oh.
That's what it tastes like. And then you better be near a bathroom.
No way.
For the next, 3 hours, because
you're married. I could not.
What?
I could not just like being home with my husband, with Nathan, and just like, oh, here comes.
Yeah, like you literally need to clear your schedule, because it ain't no joke. It is. You are running to the bathroom, and if you're out in public, it's horrible. Okay, I'm not kidding, right?
That's why he's dying. He's laughing so hard.
You get the point. It's really bad. It's really extreme. And then throughout the day, you drink the lemonade. That's the lemon juice, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper. And it's supposed to help replenish and continue flushing throughout the day. And then there's the tea that you drink at night. And I think you're supposed to do it for like 7 days.
And that's all?
That's it.
Wow.
But because of the ingredients, the maple syrup gives you the natural sugars that you need to have the energy and stuff like that. So really you can have plenty of energy doing it, but you've got to go into it headstrong.
Jeez.
So I don't know. I mean,
Butthole strong.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't do the saltwater part because I did it once and I thought I was gonna die. It was horrible. Like, you're in the bathroom so much, but not only that, it tastes disgusting.
Yeah.
So gross. I had to plug my nose and just choke it down. Jesse took it like a boss.
Wow.
Not so much.
I couldn't.
And I'm not saying I would never do that again, but it serves its purpose for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. It's to just clear the junk out, and I'm sure there's plenty of research that comes against it.
Yeah.
I haven't really gone there, whatever. Cleanses, they serve their purpose for a time.
They do.
We've done teas, we've tried pills, but really it's just about eating healthy. Like you said, you can eat the apple, you can eat the fruit, you can eat the veggies, and over a longer period of time have a similar effect. Oh, another thing I was going to say about that, I think it was with the teas and the pills one that we've done before, that there is stuff that comes out of your body that looks like...
She's going there today, guys.
It is what it is. Serious. So that looks like, I don't know, like alien like stuff.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, you can search pictures of cleanse poo, and I'm sure you'll find it, but it is some weird stuff.
I think what my thing was with the detoxing, especially with those pills, it stank so bad. Like, normally you can, like, sit in your own smell, but, like, I had to run out after.
Yeah.
And it's just that junk. Like,
yeah.
So it made me, like, realizing how bad the smell was and how bad it felt coming out. I was just like, I don't want to eat that anymore.
Yeah.
Because this is what's inside of me, and it just stays in there.
Yeah.
So cleansings definitely make you self-aware of what actually stays inside and what packs on and what doesn't. Because dang, was it bad, just like you said.
Yeah.
Mine was more smell than look, though.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
So I did that when I was at home. And my parents did it with me, so I wasn't alone. So I could not do that, like, about to be married. For the first 2 years, I would not. I don't even think I would go to the bathroom. Like,
yeah, I think
turn the water on.
We were about, I don't know, 12 years in probably when we...
Yeah, that's good then. I'll wait 12 years.
But still, it's, like I said, it can serve its purpose, but it is not...
Yeah.
It's not a lifestyle. I think there's people out there who do cleanses like monthly, and you can use fasting as a type of cleanses, and there's all sorts of research on both sides of it. So just coming at it from a balanced angle. Like, you're not doing it because if you're shedding a bunch of weight in a 3 to 7 day cleanse, you're losing mostly water weight. You're not losing a bunch of fat in that time. You're not flushing fat out of your intestines.
Right.
You're losing water weight. You're losing the bloat, so it serves its purpose, but it is not a lifestyle.
So there's a lot of stuff that we've done that was kind of like either trial and error or that we would do again, you would say, right? Like some of the detoxes you would do again, but I can't really say within my diet stuff that I've tried, I would probably continue to kind of do moderations, like I said before. But I would like to kind of go on what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So if you want to start that, I'll let you start. 'Cause I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. So we're not going to go into the entire program. We may do that in an upcoming podcast, but we just wanted to share a little bit about. So it's a program to where we're learning little by little. So we can't even go too far into it because you learn week by week, and it's all about cycling your body through different processes, and it's all about learning, because if you are just given a list of to-dos and to-don'ts.
To-don'ts?
Is that a thing?
Don'ts? Do's and don'ts?
Do's and don'ts? To-dos, to-don'ts? I don't know.
We'll go with
again, that's not sustainable. To really make true changes, you need to learn about why you're doing what you're doing. And what it does to your body when you're taking in different foods and cycling your body through different eating plans and stuff like that. And so right now we're learning a lot about the I totally just lost the word. Yes.
Inflammation.
Yes, foods that cause inflammation and why they cause inflammation and how that's different for each of us and things like that. And so it's been really interesting, and I'm excited to get farther into it and to learn more because it's packed full of information.
It is. And I like that this program is specifically designed for you. So let's say beans are what cause me inflammation in my body, but for Kara it doesn't. And so I like that we can kind of control that aspect of it, and it's not like a do or don't, like you said.
Yeah.
And so they kind of touch on a little bit of how your body burns energy and stuff, which I thought was really cool. Is there's just like 3 sources that everyone should know, but I don't think I've ever known this, is that your body uses 3 different types of fuel for energy, and one is glucose, which is sugar, one is a ketones, which is fat, and then the third one is muscle. So your body looks for whatever is easiest and most available and burns that one first. And so I don't know about you guys, but I love Coke. I don't drink coffee, so I know I got a ton of sugar inside of me.
Cocaine?
No, like Coca-Cola. Cocaine, yes.
Oh my gosh.
We'll speak about that, Jessie.
Just kidding, guys.
But and so I want to be a body that burns fat and not just sugar. And so they're going to be touching on that a little bit more. So I'm excited to learn all about that. And that goes with inflammation and stuff. And so inflammation is actually the number 1 cause of diseases and even stuff like feeling bad. And so like my joints hurt. And so now that I'm eating these foods that don't cause inflammation, I feel a lot better.
So yeah, the program that we're referring to is actually called the 131 diet, but it's called the anti-diet diet, which is interesting because anytime you mention diet, people have this understanding of what a diet is. But yeah, so 12-week program. We're only on week 1, so we'll keep you informed about how that is. But we wanted to try it out ourselves before really introducing it to Flow. So we're being the guinea pigs. We've already taken our before pictures, and we'll kind of keep it updated on the process of that. So I'm thinking it's not going to be the next podcast, but we'll get to it down the way a little bit. But I'm thinking our next podcast is going to be on depression.
Yeah.
Because it's been something that's come up a lot. It's something we both know personally something about, but then also we've had a lot of ladies at the studio talk about postpartum depression. There's so many different levels of depression, and we're not doctors, we're not scientists, but we're just going to share from our experience and maybe even bring on a person or two who's walked through depression in a different way than we have, so we can really kind of hit all different angles in just a transparent way. So
an encouraging way to encourage you guys, because when I was in mine, I know I felt alone. So that's why I felt really strong about doing one about this, so that you don't feel alone if you're going through it or have ever been through it. And so that's one of my strong points that I'm excited to do for next week.
All right, ladies. So that's all for today, but stay tuned because we've got some more good podcasts coming your way. Something that really helps us out a lot is shares and reviews. Those kind of things make a huge difference. So if you could help us out and post a review, share, comment, those kind of things, we'd greatly appreciate it. And you can always find us on Facebook. You can search Flow Fitness Boutique. Leah personally is on Facebook, Leah Jenkins, and Instagram. You can find her personally on Instagram, and then Flow Fitness Boutique on Instagram as well. Or our website is www.flowfitnessboutique.com. Our podcasts are on Podbean, YouTube, and iTunes. So lots of different avenues for you to connect with us because we love staying connected with you guys. And also, if you guys ever have any desires of what you'd like to hear us do a podcast on, share with us because we want to talk about the things you're interested in hearing about. So that's all.